Hello students, welcome again in this third and last part of the chapter Long Walk to Freedom. It is an autobiography of Nelson Mandela, first black president of South Africa. In this chapter, as we had studied the two parts, that this chapter is the extract from the Long Walk to Freedom book. It includes the description of the inauguration ceremony and citations from his speech and about his journey to bring a freedom fighter. He says about the other countless people who fought for their freedom. So in this chapter, writer has referred apartheid. Apartheid, what is the apartheid? Apartheid is the discrimination between people on the basis of their race and color. So it was one of the most brutal societies in which dark skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. I was born not with a hunger to be free. I was born free, free in every way that I could know. Free to run in the field near my mother's hut, free to swim in clear stream that ran through my village, free to roast mealies under the stars and ride the broad backs of slow moving bulls. So, here when Mandela was a boy, he was free to run in the field near the mother's hut, free to swim in the stream and run through the village and eat and ride bulls. As long as he obeyed his fathers and followed the custom of his tribe, he was not troubled by the laws of man and God. But as he grew up, so when it was only when I began to learn that my boyhood of freedom was an illusion, when I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it. But as he grew up, he realized that he did not have any freedom, and freedom of everyone who looked like him was curtailed by the horrible system of apartheid or racial discrimination. So Mandela has become the hunger for freedom because his freedom had been restricted. There was obstacle and there was hurdles on his freedom. So here he is saying that at first as a student I wanted freedom only for myself, the transitory freedom. Here the transitory freedom, the temporary freedom of being able to stay out at night, read what I pleased and go where I choose. This freedom everyone wants to live their lives. Move to the next paragraph. Later, as a man in Johannesburg, I earned for the basic and honorable freedom. Earn means wished. So he wished for the basic freedom and honorable, respected freedom of achieving my potential, of achieving what he wanted to do according to the potential capacity. He wanted to earn all the freedom that is needed for a man, of earning my keep, of marrying and having a family, the freedom not to be obstructed in a lawful life. So, like any other kids for Mandela, also the freedom means a freedom to make merry and enjoy a blissful life. Once anybody becomes an adult, then antics of childhood looks like transitory because most of the childish activity is wasteful from an adult's perspective. So once you are adult, then someday you have to earn to live livelihood to bring the bacon home, and then only you get an honorable existence with the family and in the society. But then I slowly saw that not my freedom was restricted, but my brothers, sisters were not free. I saw that it was not just my freedom was curtailed, but the freedom of everyone who looked like I did. So that is when I joined the African National Congress, and that is when the hunger for my own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of my people. So, because of the freedom of the people of South Africa and for the freedom for his own freedom, he had joined the African National Congress, and it was This desire for freedom of my people to live their lives with a dignity and self-respect that animated my life, that transformed a frightened young man into a bold one, that raw a law-abiding attorney to become a criminal, that turned a family-loving husband into man without home, that forced a life-loving man to live like a monk. So Mandela realized that in his youth that it was not just his freedom was being curtailed but the freedom of all blacks. The hunger for his own freedom became the hunger for the freedom of his people. So this desire of non-racial society transformed him into a virtuous and self-sacrificing man. Thus he joined the African National Congress, and this changed him from a frightened young man into a bold man. And this, as here writer has told, that he was a law followed attorney, he was a law followed person because he was a lawyer and he was attorney, but this freedom that had been curtailed, obstructed by the supremacy of white, had become and transformed him a criminal, and that turned a family loving husband to man without a home, that forced a life loving man to live like a monk. So he had left everything for the freedom of his country. I am no more virtuous or self sacrificing than the next man, but I found that I could even enjoy the poor and limited freedom. I was allowed when I knew my people were not free. So here writer describes about how the supremacy of whites had reduced, has curtailed this the freedom of the people of South Africa. Freedom is indivisible. It cannot be divided according to the races and the colors of the people. The chain on every one of my people were the chain on all of them. The chain on all of my people were the chains on me. So here the freedom is undivisible. The freedom is not according to the color and the races. I knew that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as oppressed. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. He locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. So here, freedom is indivisible. So when Nelson Mandela joined the African National Congress, his aim was to, like him, others to get freedom and get freedom for his people and help them to live a dignified life. He believes that freedom was indivisible. Only when each one was free would also enjoy true freedom. So freedom is undivisible. I knew that oppressor must be liberated just as surely as oppressed. Oppressor here he denotes to the whites and oppressed the blacks. So both must be liberated, both must be free from their narrow-mindedness. Here both must be free from their narrow-mindedness, and if a man who takes away another's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. Very good line here. He told the man who takes away, who curtailed others' freedom, is like a man, is a prisoner of hatred, and he is locked behind the bars of prejudice. Prejudice means a strong dislike without any good reason, and narrow-mindedness. So they both were, oppressor and oppressed, both were known as a narrow-mindedness. I am not truly free if I am not taken away someone else's freedom. So we have not right to take away someone else's freedom. If we are free, so others should also be allowed to be free, just as surely as I am not free when my freedom is taken from me. Correct? The oppressor and oppressed Oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. Here, Nelson Mandela told both the oppressed who are tortured and the oppressor who tortured other. The person who tortured the people is known oppressor, and those people are tortured by a person is known as oppressed. So both are same, and both are same, and both robbed their humanity, means both are known as inhuman. So students, this is the ending of this poem, the chapter here. Now it is end. I think all you have understood this chapter. Thank you. Read it again 2-3 times well.